You're listening to the Talking Shrimpers podcast, sponsored by Surgical Holdings.
Welcome to TSP. I'm your host, Sensei Phil, with Finn, Charlie, and where are they? There they are. And it's fan of the week. So we've got Jack with us as well. Welcome, Jack.
Thank you.
Reaction shortly coming up from Woking and Carlisle. First of all, let's check in with the guys. Finn, back from Disneyland. We were just discussing the difference between Goofy and Pluto because you seem to have a bit of a problem recognising them.
Well, yeah, I had a bit of difficulty recognising them, but we got there in the end. Yeah, no, it was a really nice time away. I literally got back just a few hours ago. I'm very jet lagged, but I'll turn up and talk about Southend. But yeah, it was a really nice time away. But it's good to be back on the podcast.
So you'll probably fall asleep when we talk about Yeovil then, won't you, by the end of the show? That's fine.
Maybe,
we'll forgive him if he nods off. Charlie, nothing as exciting for you, I guess?
No, sadly not. Just work pretty much all week. It's been quite a busy week, really. So yeah, nothing half as exciting and glamorous as what Finn's had, unfortunately. Just dark days and wet days, really, this week.
Well, I've had man flu for a few days, so it's been really rubbish. So obviously I didn't get to the game on Saturday. I was gutted about. So I did watch it on the TikTok debut. That was quite interesting because there was one. Well, there was a few times, actually. One I remember when Boys was on the ball, went round 3 players, and he did that about 6 times in a row. And then I realised it must have been a loop. Yeah. I'm like, God, Boys, he's so good. He's just like Maradona at the minute. He just kept taking the same players on. But that happened a few times, but it kind of sorted itself out. And it weren't bad, actually, I got to say. Wasn't too bad. But yeah, it would have been better to be there, but at least I got to see it, so that was good. So Jack, welcome, fan of the month. Good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Now, you obviously work for our sponsor, Surgical Holdings.
Correct.
And your boss, Dan, tells me that you know everything about Southend.
Well,
is that right?
Yeah, maybe not everything, but yeah, getting close. Yeah.
Right, well, we're going to put that to the test.
Oh, God.
Right, got a few questions.
Okay.
So first of all, who scored the winning free kick for Southend against Man United?
Freddie Eastwood.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Do you really think it's going to be that easy? Not a chance. Okay, who was the last player to score a hat-trick for us? I'm sure you get this one.
I'm going to... Oh, it's Carnu? Is it Carnu?
No.
Oh, God. It was in the bloody trophy game against Brentwood. Oh, God.
Yeah. Finn should know. You interviewed him, didn't you?
That's so annoying. Why is the name gone?
We give him a clue of what it starts with, the letter.
Oh, God. Why has that gone from my head? Oh, Pebble. Wait a minute. Is it Pebble?
Pepple.
Yeah.
Bin Pepple.
Yeah.
Close, yeah. Right, next one. We've got 3 more.
Okay.
Keeping on the theme of hat-tricks, who is the last hat-trick or the only defender in Southend's history to score a hat-trick?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. It's a difficult one, this one.
Ooh.
God.
You can thank your boss for this.
I will. Trying to think of scored multiple goals.
It was in 2002 against Boston. Not that will help much, but it might give you an idea that era. Do you want a clue?
Yeah, clue would be.
Under our previous chairman, we were at this place quite a lot of times.
Oh, it's not what I'm thinking.
Well, court.
Yeah, there you go. As you start.
Oh, God.
Leon Court. It's Leon Court.
Leon Court.
Yeah, I would have never got that if I'm honest.
Okay, you might not get this one. Let's see how you guys do with it. Which former player has the record for the most red cards in Football League history? Charlie smiling. I remember watching him, actually.
Before my time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was going to go with someone like BL Moshny, but...
No, it's worse than him, much worse.
Yeah.
He liked the red, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
He had a nickname, didn't he? Because
Yeah,
of
he
it.
did. Do you want his nickname, which will help maybe a bit?
Yeah.
I've got it.
His
now, I
nickname
think.
was Red Card
Yeah,
Roy.
yeah, Red Card Roy.
Oh, yeah.
Roy,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, God.
Did you say it, Finn?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on,
Roy
say it.
McDonough. Yeah.
Roy
Roy
McDonough. It
McDonough.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last one. Let's see if anyone gets this. Who did Stan Collymore score against for his Southend debut goal?
Ooh.
It was in 1992. Debut goal.
Oh.
God.
I guess Blackburn.
No.
So like Charlton, but it's not Charlton. Yeah, no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want a clue?
Yeah.
Okay, the nickname is a bird.
Cardiff.
Newcastle.
Oh, you're on the right lines, Charlie.
Bristol City.
So it's not. It's not the Magpie.
Crystal Palace.
It's along the Magpie, isn't it?
Oh,
Magpies.
is it West Brom? Maybe.
Right. What colour are magpies, Finn?
Oh.
I don't know what colour they are in Kent, but they're black and white here.
It's not Notts County.
It is Notts
Maybe
County.
Oh.
Oh, it is Notts County, yeah.
Notts County, yeah. Well done. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay.
Right.
And for a bonus point, Jack, what was the
Go on.
attendance of that game?
Double bonus, name them all.
Yeah, well.
Right. Actually, I will throw one more in.
Mhm.
If Charlie was at that game and he was sitting in the East Greens,
No, you're going.
what colour chair would he be sitting in?
Well, it's a bit of a controversial one, but
Ooh.
was it?
Do you know this, Finn?
No, I don't think I do.
Jack might have caught the conversation at the beginning of the pod.
Yeah.
So if Charlie was sitting in the East Greens, what colour chair would he be sitting in?
Well,
I think I've missed this bit.
Oh, it's not a trick question.
Green.
No,
Well,
that's,
you would
that's
think
too
it would
obvious.
be, wouldn't you? So we've discovered Charlie's seat, his season ticket seat in East Greens, is a random yellow chair. And we actually looked it up tonight. It is.
yeah.
Call
So
it
I never
special,
noticed that
call it what you
before.
will.
Yeah. How bizarre is that? Never noticed it. Never
And now
noticed it.
everyone will notice it.
Yeah, there you
think I
go.
sit-
Look for the
I
yellow
sit
chair.
bottom
That's
left.
where Charlie sits.
I sit bottom left of the sea, literally
So
right in the
bizarre.
bottom left of the sea on SUFC. So
Oh, do you? Oh.
yeah, me and my dad have
There
two
we go.
little stickers on our seats, so we know where we sit.
See, that we understand. But the greens,
Yeah.
it should just be green. It's a random yellow one.
I'm
there.
going to request when the new East Stand is built to have
Yeah.
a singular
Charlie
yellow
seat.
seat.
Yeah,
Yep, just for you.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
going to ask for a gold one. Yeah. Right, let's get some match reaction.
Right.
We're going to start with Woking. Charlie, you were at the game, weren't you?
I was at the game, yes.
Jack, were you at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game. Yeah. Yeah.
You were at the game, so a couple of guys were. Finn was in Disneyland.
I was in Disney.
Yeah, what was your take on it? I mean, it seemed another game where we tried to break them down.
Yeah. First of all, I was grateful that it didn't rain, first of all, because that could have been a long 90 minutes out in the elements with no roof. But when it comes to the game, it's one of the worst refereeing displays I think we've seen. Like, it was unbelievable. Within 5 minutes, Dallas gets clattered, and if that's in the 80th minute, the bloke's got a red card or at least a yellow, and he didn't even get a booking. Like, it was just ridiculous, the whole refereeing. I think he wanted to just get involved in the game. I think it was just ridiculous. But that aside, it was a frustrating game, I think, because we got in some really good positions, especially like with boys down the flank there, but we just seemed to be a bit reluctant, maybe not be the right word, but I felt there was opportunities where we probably could have got a ball into the box a little bit earlier. There was times where Gubbins was up there and we had the threat, the aerial threat in the box, and it just seemed like too many times we were delaying that cross, and it was trying to build it back up again. And it was just like, I felt like there was opportunities missed where I think, Boy's got a fantastic cross on him. I just don't know why just seemed a bit reluctant to sort of put it in a bit earlier or when the opportunity arose. And it wasn't just him. There was, a couple of, where it sort of come to the edge of the box. I mean, just a little dink in. We've got the height in there. But for whatever reason, it never happened. And then, as it always, as you know, in this league, the longer it goes 0-0, they sort of then the second half they grew into it. The first half, I'd say we dominated. Really, they didn't really test us at all. Maybe one opportunity, I think. Hayes was forced to make quite a good save. Other than that, there wasn't really anything. But the second half, they come into the game, grew into it. And, they took their chance, a bit lucky, really. Hayes made a brilliant reaction save.
Yeah, I saw it.
Sort of from point
yeah.
blank. And then it was just one of them where it sort of just wrong-footed everyone else around it and sort of just dribbled over the line. And at that point, you think, oh, here we go now. But Kev, he made those changes, and not for the first time. The likes of Bridge, Leon, they're coming on, and they made an instant impact. They were driving at the players, putting them on the back foot, creating chances. And then, Bridgie took his goal, right at the death there.
Yeah,
Brilliant. And it just shows you have a shot because there was those opportunities were throughout the game, but we just didn't take them for whatever reason. It just shows, have a dig. And Bridgie, absolutely brilliant finish. It really was. And ultimately, you look at that and you go, you know what, a point on the road will take it. Although, at the beginning of the game, you probably would have been disappointed if to get a draw. You probably would have fancied the win. But as the game panned out, I think you thought, you know what, we'll take the draw and we go on to Saturday.
Well, I think that's your goal of the month. Was it in October, or did it?
It was. Yeah, no, it was the 5th. It was Halloween.
Okay,
bonfire night, wasn't it? So
got
November.
Contenders possibly to come, hopefully. But yeah, what a strike, Jack. What was your take? I mean, did you think it's going to be one of those games that was just going to not happen for us?
Yeah, pretty much similar to Charlie. Really, we we had loads of chances. Sort of not a typical. Southend performance, but when we play in a sort of lower leagues team, we dominate the ball. We sort of have most of the play. There's so many times crosses went in with header. It was over the bar. It's like left, right, anywhere but on target. And it's just you just feel. I think the game went on. It's just going to be one of them games that the people around me were talking like we're going to concede here, even though we was dominating. And it gets to a point. You get to half time 0-0, and you're just thinking, is it going to be one of them games? And as it goes, they score. And to be honest, at that point, I was thinking, why have I bothered? sort of, turning up. And then we obviously, I just think we need to have more shots, really. Like sometimes, I'm not saying we should be pelting it from outside the box every time we get the ball, but sometimes, as Charlie said, like we just seem to sort of pass it around the edge of the box, which is fine occasionally, because obviously sometimes you need to do that. But sometimes I think, why just not just have a pop at goal, what's the worst that could happen? But yeah, I'm glad we got the goal. It was a great goal, as you say, by Jack Bridge.
And Bridgie certainly did that. What a strike it was.
Yeah. Because I think if you take that back, instead of being like last minute of the game, you take that back to maybe, I don't know, sort of 60th minute. I think he's passing that. I don't think he's shooting purely because that's the way we play. I think it's only purely because in the last minute he's gone, oh, you know what, I'm going to hit it, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm glad he did, and take a draw after all of that, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, as I said last week, going into that, I think they only lost 1 in 7, so they were on pretty decent form, to be honest. Woking. Finn, would you have been happy with a draw?
I don't think I would have been before the game, if I'm completely honest. I think if you asked me during the game if I'd be happy with a draw, I would have been. Particularly right at the end when it looked like we were going to lose, I'll take a point out of that. But I think before the game, ideally you want to be winning these games. I think, sadly, I think it's these kind of games that will cost us potentially at the end of the season, where you look back and you think, if only we'd picked up wins there and here and there where we should have done. So I think I probably wouldn't have taken a draw before the game, but I think all things considered, considering that we very nearly lost, I'll probably take a point out of it in the end.
So 1-1. Let's move on to Carlisle. Now, as I said, I was on my deathbed, so watched it on TikTok for the TikTok debut. Did you see it Finn, or were you running around looking for Disney characters still?
I did, yeah. I was weirdly, I was in a shopping mall out there, and with my girlfriend and my family and stuff, and they were all shopping. I have no interest at all in shopping. The only thing I bought all holiday was a bunch of Match Attacks, but
Unless you're in
I
a
don't- I
Southend
don't
shop, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. But
Oh yeah, there's loads
yeah,
of them, I'm sure.
but so I found a bit of shade and I actually watched the game, and yeah, it was it was a little bit frustrating. I think we were quite dominant in possession. It's kind of the same story again and again, isn't it? Really, dominant in possession. We were pressing them quite a lot, I think, and it was quite good to see us going toe to toe with like a top team in the league. But the difference between the two sides was just clinical finishing for me.
Yeah.
If you look at Linney and Chris Clark, how they took their goals,
Two great
superb.
players.
I mean, yeah, and particularly the first goal as well. Like he just looked up, he saw that the left side of the goal was open. Boom, it's a goal. And
Well, he
that's
was
just what
given
we
too
need.
much space, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think
Way too much space. I could see the shot coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in attack, the frustrating thing for me is just and we've said it so many times, but we've just got to have more shots. And I disagree with fans from what I've seen on social media a little bit, in that I saw some fans saying that we don't have the quality up top. And I personally disagree, because I think if you look at Dallas, I think he's quality striker
Yeah,
for this
he's a
level.
League One player.
If you look at Spazov, I think on his days, quality striker. I think Kendall, when he's back fit, I think he's fine. I think up top we've got fine players. I think even Walker can, get some goals.
I mean, we
We've
mentioned
got-
before about Walker being the impact sub, didn't we?
Yeah,
But he
absolutely,
started, and I thought he actually played pretty well. Did cause them problems, but we caused problems for ourselves as well. And like you said, with that, the opening 2 goals, the second goal again, so much space for Linney. He's a smart player. He knew where to find the space, and you've seen him score from that position many times this season.
I was going to
I just think. Sorry, go on, Jack.
I was just going to say, with that second goal, I was mentioning to my uncle and my mum, who I go with, you could see, obviously, they put him against Gus Scott Morris, and the amount of times, obviously, Gus Scott Morris is about halfway up the pitch. You could tell as soon as they were going to get a counter attack, they're exploiting that space. And I literally said,
Yeah, Linney knew where he was going.
What happened? They long balled it. Linney got through and he scored.
Great finish again.
Yeah, it was. That's what you get from, as I say, a clinical striker.
Absolutely,
Charlie, at 2-0,
Yeah.
are you thinking could be 4 or 5 if we don't sort this out? I certainly was worried.
Yeah, you know what? I was so excited for the game. I was really up for it. I was like, you could just tell that the cameras are in town. It's a packed stadium under the lights, and it had a really good atmosphere. I was really excited. It was 2 good footballing teams. You knew you was going to get a good contest, and you just didn't want to be 2-0 down at that point. I thought, you know what? Because I think Clark and Linney, we know about them, their quality that they pose. They are 2 very, very good footballers. And when you give them that space and time, you're going to get punished. There's no doubt about it. Linney's not on 14, 15 goals this season because he's scoring tap-ins and lucky goals. He knows where the goal is. He's a strong presence. He's fast. He's quick. And Clark, I mean, I was frustrated because I sort of as they're breaking, I'm just shouting, like, just take him down, just draw the foul, because you could see it happening. Our defenders are running on the back foot. He's running at our goal, and you say we've touched on it. He's had the space and time, and then for the second goal again, Clark, he's had the time and he's managed to feed it through. And straight away, you could see there's only one outcome for that. Linney's not going to miss an opportunity from 6 yards out like that.
No.
So you think, you know what, if we don't shore up soonish, this could be an absolute drumming if we're not careful. But I think the important thing is we didn't panic. We carried on playing our football, because despite those 2 goals, I think they were the only 2 real chances they actually had. We probably had the better of the football up until that point. And then I thought, let's not panic. Let's just settle down, which I think we did. And I think we're quite good at that. We don't really tend to panic when we do go a goal down. And we kept playing our football, and we got the joy with the goal over on the far side from Ralph in for Austin. And at that point, you could tell there was a real shift in gear. The momentum, the crowd were up for it, plenty of stoppage time. And even going into the second half, I think we were much the better team over that game. I think the second half, again, they may have had one or two chances, but that was sort of more of a counter attack near the sort of last
Yeah.
knock-ins, really, while we're trying to go push forward. And Hayes made a couple of good saves, so it was just, I think a draw probably would have been a good result and a fair result maybe. But come away, and I wasn't completely gutted because they're top of the league. They're a very good
Yeah.
outfit, and I mean, we talk about Con Clark and Linney. I mean, I think they're number 9, Kelly up top. He was an absolute handful.
Yeah.
Everything stuck to him.
Yeah, he was.
Absolutely stuck to him like glue.
Yeah.
So that gave Linney and Con Clark that freedom to play off of him because you knew you lump it up to him, we can, move up, or they could move up, should I say, and then they can build on that. And their break is very quick. They're very quick on that on that break.
Well, we saw that second half late, didn't we? When Williams was 1-on-1 with Ralphie, and he absolutely skinned him.
Yeah.
Thankfully, smashed it over the bar. As a 3-1, it's definitely all over. But as you say, I think we were still well into the game. And they obviously shut up shop, and then you've got your I don't know what you want to call it, gamesmanship or cheating. I'll call it cheating. A lot of that came in, didn't it?
But I think that's what frustrates me with us, because you see it now, and I sort of partly disagree with Finn in terms of strikers. I think we're still missing a striker that a Linney style. Like, I just feel like we're too nice a team.
Yeah.
I feel like, I was watching like Linney. When he scores his goal, it's just a simple sidestep, staring at the crowd as he's going back to the pitch. He knows that's getting people's back up.
Exactly.
Same as Con Clark. There's a point where Con Clark just stood there and just stared at the fans, sort of puffed his chest out, as much to say is, and what? Do you know what I mean? And we haven't got someone like that that's going to really, a bit of arrogance and a bit of, you know what, I'm a decent player and I'm going to show you I am. And I feel like that's what's kind of missing with us. I feel like we're too honest when it comes to fouls. We want to fix. I don't know. I feel like that's what we kind of need. Someone up top or someone in the middle that, will just hit lumps out of people fairly, but do you know what I mean? And be a bit arrogant with it.
I think we've also got to stop, with all due, stop respecting goalkeepers at this level too much, because if I'm completely honest, and if we're honest with ourselves, the goalies at this level aren't quality for the most part, and the majority of teams you come up against, they're not. If you get it on target hard enough and fast enough in the right place, they're not going to save it most of the time. And even if they do, they might parry out for a corner, they might parry out to another one of our players. And it just comes back to shooting more. And it sounds simple, but I guess when we actually play it, it just isn't for some reason. But if you just shoot more, who knows what could happen? And that's what they did. And you're right about us being too nice as well, I think, completely, because I was going to say that later on. I just think we've got we need a player who's just going to be a bit of a arrogant, so and so.
I used to be a bit like that. Well, we've got a good football memories coming up where we talk about a goal and a bit of arrogance, which you might find quite funny, but that's for half time. But yeah, we obviously got back into the game. Coker at the heart of a really good move. Ralphie and popped a cross in, and Austin got the end of it. 2-1, like you say, I thought second half we had much better of the half. The stats will tell you that we were well on top. But we were just undone really by two top quality clinical finishes, and we are missing that a little bit in a minute.
It just feels like we just don't get any luck of the green. Like, I think even like we're putting the balls in the boxes, we're asking questions to defence and stuff, but we just never seem to have that second ball drop to us in the box, like ever. Like a ball drop on the 6-yard on the penalty spot, and it never seems to just drop to us to like lash it home or anything like that. And I guess over the course of the season, you make your own luck, and that will come, I suppose. But I don't know if we're going to touch on it in a bit, Phil, but Dallas had that penalty shout as well. Now we'll see where we sit. We weren't far off that, and my natural instinct, I thought it was, if it was, I generally thought it was inside the box from where I was sitting. I think that was a real shout for us. And had that been it, then, that player should have seen second yellow.
Those decisions, do we?
But no, and again, there was some decisions with that ref. Again, was a bit questionable, but.
Thing is as well with that decision is that player was already on a yellow as well, so if he's clattered him when he's running at goal, I don't know how that couldn't be
So the
a red
refs
card.
bottled it,
Even if
basically.
it's outside the box for me, that
But-
should be a second yellow. I don't
Yeah.
really
Jack,
get it.
did you see it at all?
Yeah, I saw it. I agree with Charlie. I thought it was a penalty, to be honest, because he's completely clattered him. He's nowhere near the ball at all. And in that case, as I say, it should be a second yellow and a red. But as you say, that we never seem to get the luck with the green with them. Sort of,
No, we never do.
it seems to
But
be the only way we
what
get.
for?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, like, what frustrates me is, I mean, like, you got a linesman on that side as a fourth official, like, they can see it as well. Like, the linesman seems to see if the ball's like a millimetre over in the far corner as he's looking across the entire pitch and a goal. He seems to give that all right, but you can't see a decision that's right in front. I mean, there was a couple where, even off the ball incidents,
Yeah.
there was a couple, you know, and there was a kick out on one that got completely missed. I think there was an incident with Miley, I think, that was completely missed. And you just think, are you even watching the game?
Frustrating, isn't it?
It is frustrating.
When it seems to go against us quite a lot.
Yeah, but saying that, I mean, it shouldn't take away of the quality game it was. I think it was a brilliant advert for National League football. It was an absolutely brilliant game of football. Two
And we
teams that wanted to play
shouldn't panic.
properly.
Our objective
we
is
shouldn't.
playoffs. We're in there
Look,
still.
At the end of the day, like we said, we're not going to go the rest of the season unbeaten. We are going to lose games. Let's be realistic with it. And they're going to be up there. Are we realistically going to win the league? Probably not, if we're being brutally honest. Our aim is to be as high up in those playoff spots. So am I panicking because we've lost the top of the league with the top goal scorer in form? And yeah, it's upsetting because we come so close to getting a result out of it. But actually, it could have been a lot worse the way it started.
I think there's
indeed.
sorry.
Go on.
I was just going to say
Into
one
extra
last
time.
thing. I think when we talk about like going up and what we want from the season as well, I think there's something to be said about teams who finish in second, third, like the higher places in the playoffs, whether it's actually an advantage or not. Because quite often you see, even with the playoffs last season with Oldham and Southend, usually the teams who are lower down in the playoffs tend to do quite well because they go into it with momentum.
Well, hopefully work in our favour.
Which can
To
help.
stay 6th, 7th is what you're saying, Finn.
Well, I don't know if I'd rather finish 6th or 7th, but it's what I'm saying is I just think that sometimes it can actually help getting that extra game, not having like a 1 or 2 week break. So sometimes it can work out.
Okay, before we go into the half-time break, I just want to touch on, just for a few minutes, need to address the elephant in the room, that is Tom Hopper and the abuse that he's getting at the minute from a section of fans. He's not on form. However, I just think some of the abuse is so unwarranted. I mean, when he's warming up, I've read some disgusting comments that I've heard from the section in the game at Woking away, booing him on Saturday when he's coming on. I mean, it's just beggars belief. Get behind your players. And at the end of the day, he's not a footballer. He's a human being, and he that's gonna affect him, definitely. We talk about mental health, and I'm not saying that he's gonna go and do something on the back of that, but you just don't know, what's in a person's mind when you take your Gary Speeds and your Ricky Hatton recently, Chris Barker, one of our own. It's just be kind to people, for God's sake. Some of the stuff is just appalling. Charlie.
And I mean, for me,
sorry, Charlie.
So, I mean, for me as well, like a lot of it, is people on social media and everyone's a keyboard warrior, aren't they? And that, and it just makes. Would you turn him if you see him in the street? Would you give him this level of abuse? You probably wouldn't. You'd probably ask for his photograph or something. But also, like, is it any surprise that he may not? If he is underachieving or underperforming, is it any surprise when every time he's coming on a pitch, he's getting booed? I don't know if he's on social media, but if he's, I don't know if he's on social media. Just reading negative comments. Like, imagine going to work and you're just getting absolutely slated every time you're going to work.
As you walk in.
You're not gonna want to turn up to work, are you? You're going to think, what sort of gap is this?
You're not going to perform.
It's footballers, it's. Tables can turn very, very quickly. All of a sudden, if he scores 2-3 goals on the bounce, all of a sudden, oh, hang on, we've got a player here. Do you know what I mean? It's just ludicrous.
Well, there's also the thing that people think it doesn't affect other players, but absolutely, of course it will. Because, you know, if I'm one of his teammates, I'm thinking, well, the minute I'm on a bit of bad form, am I going to be the next target? So then it kind of makes you nervous. So it does rip through the team. And eventually you got several players that are underperforming and managed got a problem, all because a few people can't keep their mouth shut.
Yeah. And I think it's very different between having an opinion of something and giving abuse.
Yeah.
You know, having an opinion of a player, you know, if they're playing a poor
which is
game
fair.
which is fine. Football's about, that's the joy of the game, difference of opinions and stuff. But it's when it becomes personal abuse, that's where the lines, you know, you've got to draw the line there, because it's just unnecessary. It's completely uncalled for.
Well, it is difficult for Kev as well, because, you know, I've read people say, oh, it wasn't necessarily aimed at Hopper, it was aimed at Kev for bringing him on. Well, it is aimed at him still. But also for Kev, what are you meant to do? You're playing top of the league team. You've only got 3 available strikers, 2 are playing. You've got to have one on the bench. You don't put him on and you lose a striker through red card or injury or whatever. And then what are you going to bring on? Defender up front?
Yeah.
People then be saying, well, why didn't you have a strike on? So you can't win, can you? I mean, I know he's not the most on form at the moment, but that is what is available. And Kev's got to, you know, he's got to pick him. Jack.
It seems a bit weird how we treated Macaulay Bonds so differently to Tom Hopper, even though in my eyes they were in a similar sort of situation in terms of form. You know.
Yeah, good call.
Macaulay Bonds, he hasn't scored. Everyone was going, right, you can get a goal sort of thing and chanting for him. Whereas you go this season, it's Tom Hopper. Everyone's sort of, you know, against him, booing him, which I don't really.
Yeah, it's just got toxic, hasn't it?
Yeah. As you say,
just
it's all
got
for
toxic.
opinion and thinking someone's, you know, not in the greatest form. But there's no point. You're not going to get anything out of booing them. You've got to support them, you know, and you know, get through a tough time, sort of thing.
I get it. If a player's walked onto the pitch and you can see they cannot be bothered, I remember Ndombele, member at Spurs, lazy player, couldn't be bothered. He was walking all the time, and at the end of the game he got booed off. I get situations like that, but when you got a player who's actually trying, you know, and you're booing him before he's even walked on the pitch, you know, and abusing him when he's warming up. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, it's just.
What is wrong with these people? They're not football fans as far as I'm concerned. They're not supporters of the club. No. Let's get behind him. I mean, in an ideal world, probably you'd say maybe a loan would be a good thing for him at the moment, just to get his confidence up, get the toxicity. But who'd you bring in? You know, who'd you bring in? There's no one available. So, like it or not, he's part of our squad. Last year, he was a very valuable member of the squad. This member helped us in that playoff run.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
that's the whole point.
Isn't it?
It's a squad. It's a squad of players. So we're not reliant on him. And I don't think he's been brought in for us to be reliant on him.
No.
He's there to give us a different option up front. I think I've touched on it before. You know, he's not a player who's going to pick a ball up and run at play defence. That's not his game. That's not his style. He's brought in for the physicality. So, yeah, he may not play every game, but the games he will play will be against the teams that we think the physical presence is needed, you know, or a hold-up play or something like that. So it's, you know, there'll be times where he may start. There'll be times where other players may come in. But you've got to back whoever it is that's playing.
I also read some of the comments like, what did he do in that game? Well, what do you expect him to do? He's not the sort of player that's going to pick the ball up, take 5 players on and pick a shot off. He's not going to do that. He's there to rough defenders up or get a knock on or something that someone else can get something off of in the box. And that's how football is sometimes. If you're playing a side where you're trying to unlock the door, it's not going in. The last 10 minutes, you're just going to knock balls into the box and hope something's going to land. And that's what he's great at. So I don't know what some of these fans expect from him. I'm not saying he should be a starter, but I don't get it. And you know, people might say, well, why not give Jack Stone a chance? Well, I ain't being funny, but if I'm Kev, I'm not putting a youngster in who's not been tested if that's the abuse that an experienced player is going to get.
Could you imagine someone like Jack Stone, you know,
confidence,
the beginning of his career, starting his career out, he goes, you know, he's gone from scoring plenty in the youth level. Now, youth level to first team football is a completely different kettle of fish. Imagine he comes in, doesn't score for 3-4 games. All of a sudden, the abuse, he could absolutely destroy his career. So,
Yeah, completely.
you just got to manage it and think before you say anything. Seriously. And I get heat at the moment after the game. You want to write everything on, your fit, but maybe just write something the day after. Let it all calm down a bit and, be a bit rational with your thoughts. But,
and there's the other, again, just want to briefly touch on it, the other elephant in the room, and I do believe it is a minority, and it's always a difficult thing to talk about, but that is racism. And I've seen lots of snippets about racism in the crowd, particularly at Woking away, which again is so disappointing to hear, because that's not the club we are. It really isn't. It is a minority. I believe it's a minority, but we've got a duty to actually report this, get the attention of the stewards. If you don't, I wouldn't ever say confront people, because that's never works well. But yeah, report it to the stewards. There is a police official on each game that you can get the attention of via the stewards to report it if you want to do that in silence. And there's also the Kick It Out campaign. You can obviously retrospectively report that, and that's important to do. The club are actually going to put out a number, publicise that. I think that's going to go out tomorrow at Roots Hall, where if you are hearing stuff that's completely unacceptable, then you can anonymously text, and hopefully we'll get this sorted out, and we'll get we just want to be there to watch a football, don't we? Encourage the players, enjoy the game. You don't want to be hearing that. You really don't. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there we go. Sad that we have to talk about it, but sometimes it's got to be said. So come on, guys, let's get behind Tom and all the players, and let's get back to being a club that actually people have respected. When you talk about games like last season, we went Gateshead away. We had pub saying, "Oh, the fans are amazing. They come and cleared everything up," and we've got a great reputation. Let's not ruin it with the minority, and let's look after our players, because at the end of the day, they are humans like us. They're just doing a job like us, and they don't deserve the abuse. They really don't. Anyway, and we're going to go into the half-time break. What we got coming up? We've got Academy Watch, see how the ladies got on. If we've got time, football memories, and we're going to be talking some more to Jack. Don't go away.
This is the half-time show in memory of John Gorrell.
Okay, so Academy Watch. First of all, the under-17s lost 3-1 to Billericay Town. Logan Hamlet scoring first goal for us in that game. The under-19s, they've been going really well in the Cups. Played in the Alliance Academy Cup, 2-0 win against Dagenham. Goals from Makangu and Harrison Lamb. Brilliant. They now play Enfield away in the second round, of course, away. What is it with us and away draws in the Cup? Yeah. Are we ever going to get a home draw? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm hoping with the FA Youth Cup, we get through this round, and it's the sort of the bigger clubs in it. So hopefully we'll get a home draw to one of the bigger clubs, maybe. Although maybe the players would probably want the away game if it is one of the bigger clubs. But
well, they seem to be doing all right in that, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
3-0 away each game.
Very well. Yeah, they're doing very, very well.
Yeah, so
and actually, I've just seen. I think they've a new date's been released, hasn't it, Phil?
Has it?
Or say a new date. It's Thursday the 20th, I think it was, of November. Is their FA Youth Cup game? So
brilliant.
Yeah, it'd be great if we can
take
a few fans down to get them.
Amazing.
Yeah, that'd be absolute buzzing. Yeah. So yeah, if you can get down
Ronnie
there.
and Nick and Brandon and co. I'm sure they'll love that.
Yeah.
And listen, they got a great chance. They're an excellent side, and what Danny Heath has done with them is incredible. Go along and watch. The football they play is just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Great side. The ladies suffered sadly a 7-1 home loss to Cambridge City. Very difficult game. That was a cup League Plate Cup game. That was at home, actually. The one goal for Southend. Any idea who scored it?
Nichols, I go on.
Ellie Nichols, of course.
Ellie Nichols, of course it
Ellie
is.
Nichols
Yeah,
again.
yeah, she's
yeah,
a hell of a
been
player. I
banging
tell
in.
you, I
She
said
is.
before, like she is. I'm so impressed with it. Honestly, her touch is phenomenal. She is a
really good.
really good player. Really good player.
Really good. Really good. Jack, talking about players, we'll come back to you. So Charlie put out a TikTok. Is that what you call it? On Twitter,
Yeah, I
you call
guess
it a
so.
tweet,
I mean,
don't you? But I never wondered what you call
well,
it.
no,
Is it TikTok?
it
Just a
depends. Yeah,
TikTok?
Is it just a
Talk?
tick? Is
Was
it a
it tick?
talk?
Was it a TikTok?
Yeah,
What is it?
we'll call it a post on TikTok. We'll go
A
with
post on TikTok. Which player made you fall in love with Southend? Who was it for you, Jack?
I would say it was probably, that's a tough one. There's a couple, but I'll probably go maybe someone like
You can do a
Adam,
couple.
Yeah, I thought Adam Barrett, Ryan Leonard. Yeah, sort of the main two. Obviously, I was just in the era of Freddie Eastwood, sort of Lee Barnard, people like that. But I'd say the
Barney.
main two were sort of, well, and I think actually the main three I'd say would be Adam Barrett, Ryan Leonard, and Dan Bentley. I'd say they're the main three. But yeah, there's
Well, we're not going to say too much, but Charlie and I actually interviewed Adam Barrett last week for something going on for the end of the season. Look out for that. That is going to be mega. It's going to be absolutely mega. We can't say anything more about that.
It was a starstruck moment.
Yeah, he was great, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was
good,
great.
really good.
And you were hilarious. You're like little schoolboy you were.
I put my mum up straight away.
My mum loves
Guess
you.
who I just spoke to?
It was very, very funny. Yeah, so watch out for that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, some great players there. Finn, what about you?
Well, for me, there's one person. It's Dan Bentley for me. I guess like I started obviously being from Kent and stuff. I couldn't really get to games too much when I was younger because obviously I was young and stuff. But I'm a massive Football Manager player, so I always used to use Southend and stuff.
Yeah.
From there, because obviously I knew my dad was from there. And Dan Bentley, and then I started watching the games and hearing about them, and yeah, Dan Bentley for me is really the one. He's definitely my hero.
Well, talking about Football Manager, I'm a huge fan of that game as well. And I think I read last week that they've now got the women's section in there for 2026, which Chloe from the show has been absolutely instrumental in. So I'm really looking forward to that and trying to. First thing I'm going to do is give Ellie Nichols a long-term contract.
I've been playing a lot on holiday, so yeah, it is quality. It is very good.
Yeah, very good. Charlie, who is it for you? I know it is for you. Adam.
Yeah,
Adam.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Like
but
you.
then, I mean, there's some, like you touched on. There's some bits that'll be coming out after Christmas, but my early memory that are probably like Ricky Otto. Like for me in the 90s was someone for me was like probably got me hooked into Southend properly. But then it was where I was of an age where I could like properly understand football a bit more, if you like. Yeah, it would have been Adam Barrett and hands down. Yeah.
So many great players. For me, it was David Crown. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, go back and watch some of the Southend videos. The guy's finishing and his record for Southend, absolutely immense. I mean, Colin Moore as well. Absolutely brilliant, top player. Same as Freddie. I mean, there's so many we can name, but for me, it was David Crown, and what a great player. Do go back and have a watch. Okay, let's get to that football memory, shall we?
Football memories in it.
Right, so we talked about arrogance from goal scoring, and it takes me back when I run aside many years ago. I remember we were playing a game away to Old Brentwoodonians, and I remember they had like a pavilion there just in front of the pitch, and we were playing. They were a pretty good side. We were a decent side as well, but we had a new lad making his debut, a guy called Selmo. He'd just been released by Leyton Orient, and I said to him, "You're going to have to play really well to get into our side." So he obviously took that on board. I started him. We won 4-1, and he made all 4 goals. So, and I've got to say, Selmo was amazing for us. Scored. It was a goal machine, absolutely brilliant. But he Yeah, he laid one of them off. There was one moment where the box was quite congested, and I was just outside the box, about 25 yards, and he's come to him, and I've gone, lay it off, because I've seen a gap, so he's laid it off, and I've hit it so sweet. This thing's gone like an arrow into the corner, exactly where I put it, and it was one of those beautiful moments where it hits the side of the net, and it rustles across the netting. It was like beautiful. So I've got, my dad used to record the games. So I've obviously positioned him on top of the pavilion. So I've run up to the pavilion and I've done the old David Platt, from the World Cup, and just like that, pure arrogance like that. I'm like, oh my God, that's going to look so good on camera. It's going to look so good, because not only was an amazing goal, the celebration, I mean, come on. So we won 4-1.
25.
I got home. All I've got is my dad's feet on the video. He was so good at catching the sky or his feet. So he got bits of the game or other goals, but didn't get my goal. I couldn't believe it. couldn't
You're just showing arrogance to the pavilion, and that's it.
I know, yeah. Just looked like an idiot like that for nothing in front of my dad. We were cutting our people going, what an idiot.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was actually second goal of the season, but there's no evidence. Thankfully, I got first goal of the season as well. Great volley. But yeah, it was a goal that I would have loved to look back and watch and show my kids. But yeah, all I can show them is my dad's feet. There you go. That was my goal. Yeah. No memories like that for you, Charlie?
Funny. No, not arrogance. I mean, I've had the odd funny story, but yeah, I can't say. I mean, I played sort of like, if I wasn't in goal. I mean, I played it on and off in goal, but predominantly I used to be a striker. But I was more of like a sort of a goal poacher. I played with another guy who, he would. We had our fair share of goals between us, but we were two completely different strikers. But at the time, we sort of complemented each other really, really well. So he would sort of create a lot of the chances, and I'd be a typical poacher around the 6-yard box. But saying that, my dad. So I was probably, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 sort of years old playing, and my dad used to work in like a warehouse distribution firm that did like CDs, if you still remember what they are.
Yeah, I've
so
still
every
got
now
some.
and then he'd have some CDs. So what he would say to me is, if you get a goal or score a hat trick, you'll get a CD. So I'm thinking, sweet, here we go then. However, these CDs were stuff like, I mean, you youngsters probably won't here know none of this, but I had there's an album called Leader of the Pack. And it was horrendous, and there was stuff like Doctor Hook, if you remember Doctor Hook. It was stuff from like the 60s. Now I was like a 10-year-old kid, like stuff from the 60s. I was like, what the hell are you giving me? And I remember scoring a hat trick, and I had this like three CDs set, because I had a CD for each goal I scored. Yeah, and I was like, thanks. But funny enough, I think it was my first hat trick. I think I scored, and I think I actually got knocked out. I think, if I remember correctly, it was a cup game, and I scored the winning goal, and it was my third goal. And I sort of come in on the sort of penalty spot, up for a header. The keeper's come out, absolutely clattered me. I've got my head to the ball just before him. Ball's in the net. I've sort of come round, and everyone's like, "Wow!" And I was like, oh, "What the hell's just happened?" So yeah, that was my sort of first early memories. But yeah.
Any hat tricks for you, Finn?
No, not really. I mean, I've got some, like I had a coach. If you can hear my dogs in the background, then I don't know if you can hear them, but they are barking away. But
not Pluto followed you back from Disney, is it?
I think it's my mum back with her dinner.
Have you kidnapped him?
But I had my football coach knock my tooth out by kicking the ball, because he got involved with the training and smashed my tooth out once. But I think I had one. Oh yeah, one quite recent one. So I haven't played football in about 2-3 years, something like that. But my girlfriend, like her family have like a charity team. So they asked me like, oh, do you want to play? And I was like, yeah, I'll play one day and stuff. And then it came to like, it's the match day. But I asked them the night before. I was like, I asked their dad. I was like, is there a space for me? Do you want me to play? I probably won't be that good. It was like, nah, I don't think there will be. Anyway, so you know, I had a bit of a late night playing PlayStation, whatever. Didn't really expect to be waking up at about 8 o'clock to go and play. I was woken up during the game. I was woken up, so they'd already kicked off at this point, and my girlfriend woke me up and said, "Do you want to get your shoes on? You can play for like the last 5-10 minutes." I'm like, obviously, I'm thinking I used to be all right back in the day. I used to be all right, and I'm only 18. I shouldn't be too out of shape. And I got there. I think my warm up, literally, I 10 minutes. It was just opposite her house. And I'd woken up about 10 minutes before, and before I know it, they're subbing me on. I'd had one fridge raider, literally a splash of water. I was like, oh my God. And I got on, and they asked me, where do you play? And I was like, oh, I play left back. That's probably where I'm best, probably on the wings, something like that, in more of a defensive kind of role. And so they said, yeah, no worries. And then when I'm going on, the guy coming off says, yeah, you're up front. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, I'm not a striker. And I'm in these massive shin pads, horrible boots, massive shirt. I was like, oh my God. And yeah, I missed literally the worst sitter you could ever think of. And I've actually got a video of it, and you can just hear my
I want to
girlfriend
see
in the
that.
background go, my girlfriend in the back.
We
you
want to
just hear
see
her
that.
go, oh, he's going to score. Well, I'll have to send it to you. She goes, oh, he's going to score. And then she goes, oh, God. And then the pan's down. It was the worst miss. I couldn't believe it.
I've got a similar story. Maybe we'll use it for next week.
You don't get my goal. You get my dad's feet. You know what I mean?
It's
not right,
why
is it?
That have happened with that one. I didn't want it on camera. It was the worst miss, honestly.
Sorry, Charlie.
I'll give it to you to show next week. It's horrendous.
No, I was just saying, maybe for next week, I've got a little story similar to Finn in terms of sort of being thrown in at the deep end and sort of offering to do a favour, if you like, and it completely backfired. So we'll put a pin in it and we'll discuss it next week.
That'll be football memories for next week. We'll look forward to that.
I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, I'll get absolutely ridiculed for it, but I've got thick skin. I'll be all right.
That's what we're here for. Jack, any amazing goal moments or bad camera?
Well, yeah, I'd done like, you know, the charity tournament they do at stadiums when I was quite young, maybe 5 or 6, and I'd done like a 5-a-side at the Upton Park and stuff like that. So thinking, here we go, big moment for me, you know, playing Upton Park and playing in the silent. I somehow managed to score an own goal, so that wasn't great. And it was all filmed on camera, so I've got the DVD still of that somewhere. With you know, I was thinking, here we go, big moment, I'm going to score.
At least you scored there.
Yeah, I scored. It's a goal.
You did score, exactly.
But yeah, that's about my only moment because I used to play left back and wasn't that great. But yeah, that's about it, really.
I scored 2 own goals in my time, and they both came in the same game. Believe it or not, just bad luck. It just
didn't fancy the hat
come off my leg.
Didn't fancy the hat
not good.
Goals.
That wasn't a good game. Not a hat trick, just 2. 2 was enough. No. Thankfully, I got hat tricks at the other end. Yeah. Good memories, guys. Good memories.
Yeah.
Right. Coming up next, we've got Yeovil away. I think it's 3 minutes past 3, isn't it? All the games are.
Yeah, it is.
For the free up campaign. I'm not sure what that's going to achieve, but we certainly should have free up.
Raise some awareness, won't it? And
Yeovil away. What are we thinking, guys? I mean, their form has been absolutely looking at abysmal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've not won a game in 6.
I think with Yeovil, Phil, it just seems like there's a lot of kind of I don't know what's going on behind the scenes at the club, but it just seems like something weird's going on because they're constantly chopping and changing things and managers and.
Well, didn't they have a bit of money thrown at them?
Yeah, it just seems really unstable, to be honest. And I'm not sure what's really going on behind the scenes. Obviously, I'm not a Yeovil expert, but it just seems like they don't have a kind of stable plan at the moment. And they don't really have like an identity as such on the pitch. And I think it should be a win for us. But, you know, I've said that for quite a few now and it's not been. So I'm not too sure. I'm a little bit nervous because it's that thing of, you know, if you lose 3 in a row, then you could really, this could be where the kind of season falls apart. But hopefully it'll be a nice win to get us back on track.
Yeah, hope so. It's hard to predict this one, really, isn't it? Like, as you say, they've been on really bad form. They're the home team. That's going to change at some point, but I hope it ain't going to be against us. Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at their recent results, and yeah, we say they've lost
it's not pretty.
5 of the last 6 or so. But however, if you actually look at those games, so they've lost 1-0 to Scunthorpe,
Yeah, to be fair.
drew 1-0, a good result against Carlisle, drew 1-0 with Carlisle, lost 3-0 to Rochdale, Wilston. We know, Wilston, we know too well.
Boreham.
Wiltstone, Boreham Wood. So they have
They've
had
had a
some
hard run,
real
that's for sure.
tough games back the last sort of 5-6 games. Prior to that, they've had results, Altrincham, Sutton, Aldershot. So I'm a bit reluctant to read too much into the last sort of 5-6 results, to be honest, based on who they've had. But like you say, for us, we're the away team. It's a long way to travel.
Well, we've got an extra 3 minutes, haven't we?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we've got a week now, so we've got a week to prepare. We've not, we haven't got a midweek game this week. The last couple of weeks, games come thick and fast, which you like when you're winning, keep the momentum going. But we've got the odd little niggle here and there, so it gives them a couple of players a few extra days to sort of work on that and recover. And I'm sure Kev will have done all his homework and looked into them. But ultimately, I think we'll play our game as we do. Every week we've got our style that we'll play. We'll stick to that. We won't sort of adapt our game to them as such. And yeah, it will be for a good contest. But yeah, you'd like to think that we'll edge that game and come out winners.
Jack, are you making the trip up?
Yes, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there with my mum, so hoping it'll be worthwhile. But yeah, it's
quite a way, isn't it? What, 5 hours is it? Just
maybe
before
a bit less than
you
that.
hit Cornwall, not quite Cornwall, but
it's an interesting one. It's because last year it was the one where we scored early on, then they scored. Did they score twice? I want to say scored twice. Then we scored right at the end. I think was it half time? Yeah, was it that right?
Are they the club that have that slanted pitch? Am I thinking?
Sure, I've not actually been to Yeovil, so I'm not too sure.
Most
to be
of them
honest
in
with
this
you.
league,
but there's not. You had I can't remember. There was one ground that was like pretty much a slight. I can't think who that was now.
I remember I fell asleep during a Southend Yeovil game once. Just, I don't know. I guess that's another one for football memories, but I just can't remember why. But I was just absolutely knackered and I was watching on TV.
You fell asleep during the football match?
Yeah, I fell asleep in like the first 2 minutes.
Was you watching it on TV?
Were you watching
or was you
West
actually
Ham?
at the ground?
No, I wasn't at the ground. I was at the ground.
Oh, right. Okay.
I remember I fell asleep within like the first 2 minutes. I just woke up.
And that's fair enough. I've fallen asleep to many games on TV.
It's not quite as ridiculous as at the ground. But,
I thought you was like in the stands or something, dozing off.
No. And then I woke up and it was like 4 goals or something. I was so confused. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You'd be gutted to go all that way as well and fall asleep, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
No, I haven't actually been to Yeovil. I don't think
No, I
I'm
haven't.
going to go this weekend either. So
Yeah.
I have to wait.
Yeah.
Well, Jack sounds like a seasoned pro at Yeovil.
Yeah, I went there last year.
What do you make of it?
Yeah, it was as in the ground or just the game.
Yeah, the ground.
Yeah, the ground. Yeah, it's okay. It does the job, I suppose. It's better than other grounds. It's got a roof. It's got some seats. It's
What's the food
that'll do
like?
for me.
Food good?
What was that? Sorry.
What's the food like? Is it nice?
It's average stuff. I think it was quite basic. Nothing. Not like anything exciting really. Unfortunately,
Not like the Gaffer Burger in the North Bank.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'll tell you what's underrated. And this is going to be mental because they're kind of the worst and kind of up there with the best in some ways. Forest Green, and before everyone is like, what on earth? They are actually... The fact they don't sell chips is quite disturbing because that's surely one vegan thing we can all kind of agree on is chips at football. But they don't sell chips. However, what they do, they sell these pasties, and I was a bit reluctant to get one. But to be fair, that was absolutely one of the best things I had at football. So
yeah, I love
what was in it. What was in the pasty? Just a veggie pasty, I'm presuming.
And stuff, but it was actually
lettuce.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. There's other things like they were selling candy kittens. I can't get.
Jack, did you make it to Truro?
I didn't go churro. I would have, but had something
I
else
wondered if
planned.
they had pasties. Surely they've got to have
Yeah.
pasties.
Yeah, they must have done. You've got to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to.
I think Eastleigh had like some sort of pasties.
Really?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but they had
Yeah,
something
about
weird
right,
that wasn't
yeah.
a burger.
Right, let's get some predictions, guys. Charlie, stick with you. We've got a couple of minutes. Let's bash through this. What are we going for?
Right, I am going for a thrilling 1-0 win for Southend.
Finn?
I've got a score in my head. I'm going to go 3-1 win. And I'm going to say a Dallas hat-trick.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm going for it.
With
It's
a bit
about
of-
time he gets a hat-trick, I think.
Jack?
It's a bit of arrogance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going
He'll
to
listen
go
to it.
2-1. 2-1 Southend.
2-1
Yeah.
to us, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-0. Who's going to get the winner? Walker's going to get the winner. He's going to go up like that in front of the
Yeah.
camera, give it the big arrogance,
Yeah.
and we're going to see the highlights, and we're just going to see the feet of the cameraman. That's what's going to happen. Right, yeah, good luck, boys. Let's see how we do. So next week, we're back, same time. We'll have reaction from Yeovil, obviously. We'll have more half-time fun. Particularly looking forward to Charlie's football memory. We also got Emily back to update us with the ladies. And let's just finally say thank you to Finn, Charlie, and Jack, our fan of the month. You've been absolutely brilliant. We'll get you on again, hopefully.
Yeah.
And good luck with your trip at Yeovil.
Thank you. Hopefully it's worth it.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. This has been the Talking Shrimpers podcast. Up the Shrimpers.